you guys on. So now you are turned on. I have found my class list. It's over here underneath all of this paper that I had made available for other folks for their meetings. So Adrielle is right there, here, right there, right here. Daniela is also here. Okay, Ms. Bella Garcia is right there. And Maddie is here, there, and everywhere. Mai Nakamura is here. And Sosi. Sosi, I never get to see you, but you're always here, which is really cool. Thanks for being here. Oh, and Kelsey's here. So I turned up my volume because that's part of like rebooting this whole system every day, is also turning up the volume so that I can hear you guys. So please feel free to unmute your mics and participate. You can ask me questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question. I was in a faculty meeting yesterday and I was asking the dumb questions. And I was scared to speak up and ask stupid questions. And the other faculty members said, no, 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 James, thank you very much for speaking up and asking those questions. We all wanted to know that too, and we were all afraid to ask. So it even happens with faculty. Faculty, you know, are afraid to speak in front of other people, and faculty are somewhat afraid to, you know, to look foolish in front of other people and stuff. And so I gotta fix this so that maybe we can actually see what we're talking about over here on this thing and focus it. And that's about as focused as we get. Oh my God. So this is part of the problem right here. There's part of your problem right there, is when you're in the classroom and I've got a digital projector on a screen, this is all that the people in the classroom can see, which really sucks. And so I was asking for a very large format LCD monitor or television so that I actually had something that was powered and backlit so that people in the classroom could see the digital projection as well as people who were on the Zoom call. So anyway, that's kind of what we're dealing with right here, are the vagaries and vicissitudes of trying to do this high tech and Hyflex. Having said all that, I got to make sure that I am recording. I am recording. Okay. So you guys, I've been showing you this little model that I made last week, trying to figure out what Mai Nakamura wanted to do in terms of a cute little chair. And she may not even want to do this anymore, but now I'm going to do this chair. So this thing was made up of all of these triangles. And I was trying to figure out what the pattern was so that I could understand how this chair was put together. And I did finally, you know, figure it out while I was putting it together. And now I wanted to illustrate this for you guys. So I found that these equilateral triangles, which are, you know, equal sides and equal angles for all the triangles, are kind of arranged into these pentagon shapes. And so actually, if you have 6 of these triangles that are kind of laid out and attached, and you make a cut down one of these shared edges of the where the 2 triangles come together, and then all of these triangles get folded on their lines. We get pre-folded on their lines, and then you just take the triangles and you slide them on top of each other so that you only have 5 triangles in the pattern instead of 6. It also creates this little strange, it's a pentagon, but it's also like a pyramid. It's a pyramid pentagon. And that is the basic shape. That's the basic unit in this chair composition. The triangle is the basic shape in the chair composition, but a larger kind of a shape that's in the chair is this pentagon thing created by making 6 triangles and then sliding 2 of them one on top of each other to make this shape. So there's one of those kinds of pentagon pyramids on this side of the chair, and there's one of those pentagon pyramids on this side of the chair. And this right here is the bottom of the chair. So if I put the bottom of the chair on the floor, and then I start to rotate this, you can see that there's a pentagon pyramid on one side of the chair, and we rotate this around, and there's a pentagon pyramid of five triangles on the other side of the chair. And if I rotate the chair around towards you, you can see that there is only three of the triangles in the front of the chair, because two of the triangles of the pentagon have been taken away for the seat of the chair. So there's just that in the front, and then we have to start editing away for the actual seat of the chair, because the seat, this seat doesn't really fit into the geometry of this, this strange shape. And oh, there's one more triangle up here. There's one more triangle that doesn't fit any place, and so I left it white so that you guys could see it. So we've got just, when I build this chair life size, which I'm going to do this next week, I'm going to make one of these pentagon pyramids. You know, I'm going to make one for this side and one for this side, and then all I have to do is make this little row of three triangles over here for the bottom, and I just need one more triangle here, and I've actually got all of my triangles that I need to put this chair together. And they can all be put together with just a glue tab that's a blind glue tab on the back of the triangles, so that none of the glue tabs will be visible on the front side of this thing. So you're going to get this really cool geometric form that is kind of geodesic and geometric on the back side of the chair, and then you rotate it around and you have the interior of the chair. Now, it took a guy with a master's degree and 30 years teaching experience a week to figure this out. So, you know, I don't blame you guys if you're having a little bit of trouble, you know, with this cardboard chair concept, because it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit different. But anyway, I was interested in this, and I was kind of intellectually interested in this too. So I wanted to try to figure out what it was that made this chair work. And I finally, you know, wanted to describe it to you. So I color coded these different pentagon pyramid things so that you can see just the two major pentagon pyramid elements in this thing, and then the residual, you know, three triangles on this side and one triangle on the top, and then it's just kind of like a sling chair in the middle of it. So I just wanted to illustrate the idea that making a measured scale model of a chair, there is so much that can be learned from this part of the process. And when you make a measured, put together scale model of your chair, you can work out all of the design problems and anything where things are not quite meeting up and they're not quite going together. You can work that out in a small scale model, so that when you've got it all worked out in the scale model, it makes enlarging the chair so much more easy. I'm not saying that you won't make changes or, you know, change your mind or, you know, modify your chair going from the scale model to the full-size model. All I'm saying is that when you get this thing built, you have 90 to 95% of all of the problems worked out. And so just scaling it up into the cardboard is so much easier and less frustrating and all of that. I took my actual drawing, my measured drawing, and I think I put it out in the lobby. I keep putting all of this stuff, my models, and all of the drawings and stuff out in the lobby, so that if you guys want to, you know, if you are confused and you want to come in and look at the stuff that I've done, it's on the table that's in the Eden Hall lobby. That's there's a pile of stuff out there for you to look at. I'm still thinking that you would be coming in here to use some of the lounge chairs in my lobby in terms of measuring the lounge chairs to see what the general proportions, to see what the general measurements of a lounge chair is. if you are going to build a cardboard lounging chair full size, because it's a pretty standard set of measurements, and if you know what the measurements are, then they all fit together in your lounge chair design. And then you can kind of play with, if you're going to make modules, play with the idea of what your sizes and proportions of your modules are and how they're going to glue together. I want to give you guys a 3-minute warning now that in 3 minutes, I will be asking you guys to share wherever you are at in your design process right now. Share it out. Don't be shy. Be loud and proud, because I'd like to see where you're at. Even if you're still drawing drawings, that's fine. I'd really like to see where you're at with this, because Monday, I'd really like us to be able to be finished up with the scale model and trying to now scale things up into the full-size chair construction. I was able to go to the furniture store yesterday, and I brought back my first trailer load full of cardboard. So I brought back about 20 or 30 large-scale cardboard boxes from the furniture store. And so I started to distribute them into different workstations around Eden Hall. So I put up a large table in the gallery in Eden Hall, and I stacked 4 or 5 boxes on that table. And so I'm going to be putting out all of the tools at all of the workstations, and there's cardboard piled up at all of the workstations. I've got 2 more workstations established in Eden 3, the drawing studio, so that 2 people can be working in there. I've got the possibility for having like 3 or 4 workstations in Eden 5, which is my sculpture classroom here, and I brought in cardboard and I stacked it up on a table there. I am sitting in Eden 7, and it's a little bit more difficult because my tables are super tall in Eden 7, and these are not really tables that are conducive to cutting and laying out cardboard on, because the tables are at about chest height when you're standing at the table. And so sometimes that's a little bit high. You're not able to work easily on the cardboard that way, but we can do that. I've also got a table outside here. You've seen it before. It's the table that I've been distributing stuff off of for you to pick up during the pandemic. On the west side of the building, underneath the roof awning out here, I've got a table out there, which can also be our one and only outdoor workstation. And if somebody like Maddie, who doesn't want to bring this cooties home to her people who are at high risk at home, wants to use the outdoor station, you're welcome to do that too. Okay, so having said all that, before I get to you guys, I just want to show you one more thing, and it's the one more thing. Over here, off camera, I was able to glue up the rest of my box last time. That was going to become the basis of this project for me. And I guess I have to go way back here so you can see it. This is the seat element for my lounge chair. Basically, it's 18 inches tall. It is 21 inches by 21 inches square on top. That's the actual seat surface for the lounge chair. And I did not make this out of one piece of cardboard. So I actually had to make the seat and 3 sides out of one piece of cardboard. And I had to make the 4th side out of a 2nd piece of cardboard. And that 4th side is this one right here. And so it has 2 glue tabs. It has a glue tab here, and it has a glue tab here. And so the 4th side had to squeeze inside of the other 2 sides that were existing and glue in here. So this side right here is a separate piece of cardboard. It also has a glue tab up across this this surface here. So this one had 3 glue tabs so that it could be glued into the module so that it could make my module. So I've got my first element now. This is the seat for my cardboard chair. From this, I would construct the back of the chair, and then if there's time, because Time is our enemy right now. I will also be making the side arms, the arms for the chair. And I hope to make this thing look different than the first cardboard chair that I made, which is out in our lobby right now. But I'd love you guys to stop by and measure that chair, measure the cardboard chair that I looked at, that I made last year, and see if it's something that is comfortable to you. You can sit in the chair. You can sit in that chair and put your arms up on the chair and see what it really, let me see if I can get both of my arms, onto the camera here, so that you can see how it supports your body, how you fit ergonomically into the chair, how you lean back in the chair, and to see whether it really works as a lounge chair concept. Not that you have to make a lounge chair, but that's what that one was intended for. Okay, so the 3 minutes are up. The 3-minute warning is up. I wanted to open it up to you guys for a little bit of show and tell, a little bit of sharing today. Does anybody have anything that they might like to share with the group in terms of your design, in terms of just a picture concept of your chair? Remember, I got this idea from Mai Nakamura. So she's shared this with me, and then I have worked on this quite a bit and shared it back out with the class. So if you've got something off of Pinterest or a Google image search that is a hot concept that you really like, please show it. And if you need any help trying to reverse engineer that thing so that you can actually break it down and make a plan out of it, I'm available. I want to help you guys, and I can help you draw it out and or kind of extrapolate and figure out what the dimensions might be for that design. I know that nobody was ready for this today, so you probably don't have anything to show yet. But Maddie, you have something to show.
So I actually had a question because I saw a I don't know if you, hold on, let me turn on my video. Okay. Hi. I look terrible, but I saw a picture on Pinterest with like these royalty kind of esque chairs, and I thought it was really cool, but I only got this far of a sketch of what I was looking at. And I don't know how I would turn these arm pieces, like how to curl them or something. So I was gonna ask for your help on that. But for the meantime, because I didn't know how to do any of that, I kind of just went with your basic kind of design of the chair. And I did all the measurements of how big I would want my chair to be. But my concept would be like the royalty kind of esque.
Okay. Chair. So that might be like a Queen Anne style chair. Now I don't know about the curved feet, because the curved wooden feet on the chair are really, really, really hard to do. But we could curve the arms of the chair by just taking a piece of cardboard and making sure that the corrugation in the cardboard was along that same axis that you wanted to roll the cardboard to be a curve. And we could actually very carefully over the edge of a table bend, and we could roll that section of the cardboard so that it would be rolled. And then for the ends of the arms of the chair, you could actually cut that out of cardboard and maybe cut a whole bunch of little glue tabs, like 1-inch glue tabs, so that when the cardboard rolls around there, you've got a whole bunch of little finger glue tabs that are on the inside. They're going to be completely concealed by the chair, and you'd be able to glue down that rolled portion of cardboard onto the top of your two ends of your arm for the chair. So that would work fine for the arms. I am now trying to figure out with my big brain how to do it for the back of the chair. So the seat back comes up, and you probably want to roll that, over the back too, so that you're continuing that shape. It wouldn't be as visually united if you had a flat back on the chair and you had rolled arms on the chair. So if you roll the arms, you're going to want to roll the back too. We may have to do it in segments so that you've got the back seat surface of the chair that rolls like this, and we might run out of room. So we might have to cut a separate piece of cardboard from another piece of cardboard, and using hidden glue tabs, be able to glue it together so that you've got the seat back surface that comes up, it rolls over the top. There might be a seam in the back, and then the back of the chair comes down. And that way, because this thing will be 10 feet long, because you'll have, 4 feet of seat back on this side, four feet of seat back on the back. And then you've got the rolled portion that goes over the top, which is anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of cardboard that has to make that radius. And so that gets to be a really long, big piece of cardboard if it's done in one continuous piece. So we might have to break it down, but otherwise the seat is easy to do. And then just trying to figure out your legs might be another challenge. We might not be able to put the Queen Anne carved legs that have the little claws on the balls. We might not be able to do that piece in cardboard. You might have to figure out something else that is a cardboard adaptation for that. Or you might just have to go straight down to the floor, with sides and eliminate the idea of legs. But we can get you the curved arms surfaces and the curved top of the seat back. We can do that for you. Does that
What do
make
you
sense?
think? What do you think about the back of the seat being like? Because in the picture that I saw, I didn't get to draw it too well, but it like curves in and then it goes like up, like I don't. It just like
You
at the
do
arms, it
maybe-
curves in a little and then it goes outwards and then makes the top of the shape or the top of the chair.
Well, okay, so let me replace the pin for just a second so that I can play with my thing here. So if we're looking at the seat back and we're looking at the chair from the back, like this would be a very geometric one with straight sides that come up and make angles at the top. So it might be possible to do some curving, but you might actually want to just maybe simplify those sides of the seat back so that they're straight. They can come up at an angle like this one does, but instead of being flat across the top, it could be curved around and have a radius to it. And that might satisfy enough of your need for a curve, because this curve would match the curve on the tops of your arms. And then that would take you completely out of this harsh geometry of a folded chair like this into more curving geometry without getting you curving every single aspect of it. So you'll have to play with it a little bit and see if you're willing to make a few compromises. And then, if we learn how to curve this cardboard by gently folding it with the corrugations running this way so that we can fold it over a curve, it's possible to do some curving of the side contours of the chair back, but it gets more and more complicated as we go. But you seem to be up for the challenge, so that's okay. Thank you so much for sharing the drawing and sharing both just a basic drawing just to get the job done, because that you get an A for that, and that's just fine, even if it's not going to be your finished chair. And also for sharing your chair concept, the one that you want to make, even though it might be really, really, really hard. You have shopped around for a chair style that has certain shapes and stuff in it that are making you think about, okay, how am I going to be able to do this in cardboard? So that's really good. Thank you so much. Is there anybody else, including the person who's sitting right next to me just off camera over here, who wants to play our game and either talk about the chair shape that you're interested in, or show me a picture, even if it's like from Pinterest or from a Google image search or something like that. And I know that, this isn't fair because this is kind of just, blindsiding you guys. But if you have something to share or something to ask, please go ahead and unmute your mic and we can talk about this. this part of this assignment is due this weekend. I think I put Saturday, the 22nd, as the deadline for this. So I really want you guys to try to get this piece of it done and uploaded. I wanted to thank all 10 of you who got the last assignment done and uploaded. Of course, I don't still have it graded yet, but I will get to that. We'll get all caught up on this. And next week, whether you're ready or not, I want to invite everybody in here to Eden Hall. I'm going to tour you guys around and show you all the different workstations, and everybody gets their choice to choose their own workstation that they want to work at to build their cardboard chair. I exhausted the supply of good cardboard that was available at the furniture store. So I'm going to go over to the appliance store downtown and see if they've got cardboard. They also sell a lot of mattresses, and so I'm going to see if they've got mattress boxes, because the mattress boxes are huge. They are like, 5 or 6 feet by 6 or 7 feet long, and so that gives a really big sheet of cardboard to work with and play with. The bigger the piece of cardboard, the more you can, kind of branch out and try to do everything on one piece of cardboard. Otherwise, we have to do things where we're piecing and fitting stuff together to make our modules. Is there anybody who's not interested in the modular thing? Anybody who might be more interested in something else, like the cross slot concept for the chair? Now, my poor, nasty little cross slot concept, this is from last year, and it's falling apart. I've got one of my cross slot pieces here, and it fell apart so much that it's not together anymore. But cross slotted cardboard is the concept that is out there, and there's lots and lots of photographs of it on Pinterest and on Google search for cardboard chair design. But I never successfully built one of these. I was wondering if anybody's interested in the cross slot chair design. I don't see anybody just rushing to unmute their mics to say, ooh, yes, me, I'm interested in cross slot chair. So I'm going to start probably not talking about that one anymore and concentrate on what you guys do want to build. It's hard teaching a class like this. I'm inviting folks to come in to the classroom live and in person, so that, because some of you are super frustrated with this process in terms of trying to get it online or through a YouTube video. And we as teachers are trying to figure out what we're going to do next year, when we are still probably going to have to wear masks. And some people are still going to be at high risk groups that don't want to come to class, while everybody else is going to want to come to class, which means that if I'm teaching in a Hyflex hybrid kind of a teaching mode, I'm doing it to a camera online, and I'm recording the class for people who can't be here synchronously with us. And I've also got people in the classroom with me. When I have people in the classroom, we have to wear masks in the classroom unless everybody is vaccinated. Then we could take the masks off. But if somebody's not vaccinated in the classroom, then everybody in the classroom has to wear a mask, which means the teacher wears a mask, which means the video going out has me with a mask on. It gets really complicated, and perhaps it's not the most ideal way of trying to do a hybrid Hyflex kind of a classroom learning experience. So we teachers are still trying to figure that one out. But so I would be interested in your comments just about what it is like to be at home or on YouTube and seeing me on screen with a damn mask on. Am I still understandable? Do my words and my presentation come across as well and as clearly if if I wasn't wearing a mask? Because we need to know that as teachers to know how to proceed next year. If we want to bring people back into the classroom and have in-person learning in the classroom, that's a great concept. But if there's 2 or 3 or 10 people in each class who can't join us for one reason or another, and we have to do this, and if people in the classroom are not 100% vaccinated, then we're still going to be dealing with masks in the fall. And so that's going to be, the difficult thing to try to slice and dice by next fall. Hopefully, I can strongly encourage you guys to all get vaccinated over the next month or over the course of the summer, so that we can have a high rate of vaccination going into the fall, which might allow us to be able to not wear the masks in class in an indoor in-class situation. But right now, the advice from CDC and the state of Oregon and other authorities is that if you're indoors and you cannot guarantee that everybody is vaccinated, then you still have to wear masks. And of course, I'm old, and so I am going into a group that's a higher risk group. And so I might have to wear a mask regardless, just because. Anyway, that's why I'm trying to design masks so that I can breathe through them and I can speak clearly through them and I can communicate well with everybody else, so that we can be together in a learning situation and you guys can get as much as possible from my presentation. I'm sorry, I went sideways and riffed for 5 minutes on masks and the future of teaching and learning in the classroom. But COVID poses all kinds of challenges for us, not only this year, but going forward, because I think that we're going to be dealing with COVID, at least during the cold and flu season every winter, as something that we have to deal with. So we're probably going to have to get booster shots every winter for COVID. And some of us that are high risk or older or whatever are still going to have to continue to wear masks, even if everybody else is vaccinated. And, so there's going to be a need for masks, good, high quality, usable masks. And there's going to be a need for vaccines and booster shots. We're probably going to be dealing with this for the next 3 years in terms of vaccines and booster shots, until we can really get herd immunity and tamp this thing down. But as a coronavirus, the common cold is a coronavirus, and we develop antibodies for the common cold that might only last a really short time, like 4 to 6 months, and then our antibodies for the coronavirus go away for the common cold. And so that's why the common cold is so prevalent every cold and flu season, because we just don't keep the antibodies in our systems for the common cold, which means that we may not keep antibodies in our systems for coronavirus, for COVID-19 either. And we may have to get booster shots, every year to try to boost our immunity every year. So that's a thing. Okay. I said all that to try to make today worthwhile for you guys in some kind of a learning aspect. So it looks like nobody's else has any questions, comments, or has to show anything, has anything to share. So I'm going to cut you guys loose today. I'm sorry this has been rambling. It's also a little frustrating when you guys aren't quite ready to share stuff. Oh, Maddie's back. Hello, what's up?
Hi. Well, I just wanted to give feedback about what you were asking for the teachers and stuff about online and everything. I don't think wearing a mask changes your teaching. Like, I can still understand what you're saying, and everything that you do say makes sense. And like, personally, I can make do with just videos, but that's probably just because I'm already used to doing things by myself from high school. So, because I went to an independent studies high school, so everything I did was practically on my own. But I personally don't see a problem with it. So, I mean, other people might have a harder time, but for me personally, I actually like the Zoom calls better than going in person to class.
Okay, sounds good. And you know, we're going to be working on our own infrastructure here in the next year or so. My neighborhood is getting rewired for can't even think what it is now, but it's, you know, high-speed internet that is the fiber optic version, so that it's even faster and can do more stuff. And so if we are rewiring all of the neighborhoods with fiber optic so that we've got better internet, then maybe we'll have better connectivity so that you don't get frustrated with trying to do the Zoom thing and it freezes up or something like that. And you have to wait until the YouTube video is available later. So we'll work with trying to do signal compression so that we can get stuff out that uses less bandwidth, like YouTube uses a lot less bandwidth than Zoom does. And we're going to work on trying to make our networks better with more bandwidth so that we can probably try to do this better. So we're working on that, but it takes time to improve things, but those things are coming. Thanks, Maddie, for your sharing, because you know it's really important to get these this feedback for teaching and to see whether or not I'm actually understandable and somewhat cogent trying to teach with a mask on. Sometimes I overcompensate and I'm very emotive and all of that with the mask on. And then I am so exhausted at the end of a class period that I have to go take a nap because I've been putting out all this energy, which is even more than I usually do in the classroom situation, because I feel like, you know, I have to try to communicate to you guys online and be even more creative or entertaining as well as informative. And, you know, so it's draining from a teaching standpoint. But anyway, have a good weekend. Work on your models and your drawings and try to be able to build yourself a model chair, especially out of cardstock. I do have cardstock available here in the lobby. So there's a big pile of used cardstock. It's printed on one side, but you're sure welcome to take 4, 5, 6, 7 sheets of cardstock and to be able to build your cardstock chair, you know, based on your research and your scale model plans. So I want to see, I would love to see actual cardstock models built that you can hold up and shake at the camera, shake at the webcam, and show us what you made on Monday when we have class. So please come and get cardstock or buy it at Staples or Walmart. And good luck making your chairs this weekend. If you need any help, please don't hesitate to email me. You know, I'll try to be as helpful as I can. If you need to come in today for a consultation, you're sure welcome to. Try to make an appointment so that I know that you're coming, because if you just come over here and I just have stepped out to go run an errand or something, that's bad, and I hate when that happens. Thanks for viewing today, and we'll see you guys again on Monday. So goodbye for now.